the Bible stories never existed.
We are limited being. Okay, you may see stars within that information. Say a contradictory, all because say we were limited thinking. I greet you, dearie, once again, wheresoever you're watching us from. We greet you, Mr. Daniel Dankwa Chenchen of Palermo Church of Christ, Italy. We greet you and we welcome you to Lawson Media. Mr. Peter of USA, we greet you a lot. Brother Nimakon Joseph Jr., we greet you and we welcome you to Lawson Media. Make sure to like and share our programs to whosoever you think needs to watch it as well. Or we get to tag all those infidels, tag Avram and Moshe with this video so he can ascertain for sure that Isaiah 53 has a reference to the Messiah. Jesus Christ is the one the prophet is making reference to. You have to know for sure how to interpret the Bible or how to interpret biblical passages. I'll be get to me. Or for Nyankopon Shroud, Ebrimu Yababeshe, Isaiah 53. Isaiah 53. Avram ben Moshe, Mechiao, baby bia wobia, Mechiao, baby bia wobia. Na, Majid say, Unye otamfu, okay, Nebomono, Abribia no, Majid say, we challenge now through Edema, a year Christians, no. There are responses, okay? Anu ye ewa very much tangible. When ye fabrication, but anu ye wa a very much tangible. On say infidels and as a septics say wafa Bible no say wosuya. One thing is abibia no ya na wo hwe edomo edi wo nachi enkofo a wo tie won ende ade it say otumi nya biribi na otumi ede be fidi won ewa abontene. And for that matter, one shodan to ne bo ase na onsuya de no yie se de beye no betumi enya montiase, okay? Na emomo no wo hwe de enkofo kan no ne ade no ano no so atape bi o de kakra de be aka ho na wo de argument, okay? So wa hwe here obekere Bible no mu kama pa because ana enkofo be hu no say wo kire mu kama but then say e base bi e ka say e kire Bible no mu ya bo say wadi agu Abraham be Moshe say o san so be sase bio Bible no o be san so aties su bio eye Isaiah 53 and kasamfa eye Messiah no ho because osia Isaiah 53 you get to know say ase the Messiah no the biography and Isaiah can ye no ase wakan say de odi kan watna se ewu kwada da kran sana afi no betwere ane se wonte prophecy asia your very be say foretell and you have forgotten the other one ebino prophecies ni bi wo ha eye de abetwam en wo se wonkom ebi won so e da ache de but wo kan say de asi atwam anase wo kan say de ewo ho anase abayia en awe de bay en a che say wo kan eho asem ebi so wo da ache but wo kan say de bay de asi atwam sana biblical prophecies na de bay ebi no na ete Biji se papa mo no yebesua ha menyo text na mechechere sa ne ma we se mo nyina biblical prophecy ni ade na wate ne ma bia se we ene ade a megire se Avram be Moshe ente ase ente bia okeka de okeka no na won berebi ansa ne be react to this no osa wa kan sem bebre o se eye Noah ne flood no enye genuine Bible ne mo it was copied eye the epic of Gilgamesh, okay, that Babylonian king no ono ne ho asem what is it sa woman that ancient books on ancient literature and no that parallels na just a woman no Genesis story no when I said that books on emu ne ade na o share bibi te say as the Bible ne kan no abi na ade be and wo kan no share bra books na ade be atena ho bra sa afo ne tena ho ene bra o share say wo twere Bible no de twere say ene say eno no eba ye wo twere asa na wo be twere Bible ne de Bible no copy ye from and I said writers and copy ye from a yes anchor but can we base on this to establish a fact? The difference between the epic of Gilgamesh and the Genesis account in regards to the flood. Ebio wasake can send the Egyptian book of the dead and blah 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 blah. See you know Isaiah 53 ana yehwe enti Avram Moshe na yemra sisi
Bible was fabricated. The Bible stories never existed. The story of Noah, every the epic of Gilgamesh. Nyankopon de dotie ne bo nipa, free ancient Egypt. Nyankopon titi dotie, de dotie ne bo nipa no. Free ancient Egypt, and tape story ni free. Obedi me one bro. Me catch am say religion bi odin dey agro me good religion no. Contradictions in the Bible. Nyamia or ohwie moje gu bebrebe e wo Bible nim. Why Jesus is Jesus the Messiah? Who is the Messiah? Nick may betray Isaiah 53, Isaiah 7:14, Isaiah 9:6.
Orofo Avram Moshe and otie no. Na we na all reacted to certain assertion Mr. Amakwata na why dey be na wa meki on say Mr. Amakwata na say wa trendy on social media just say ujai kristosom se see here or the 10 days per day be dismantle kristosom ama a program e lost media just say even crampo no over 10 days ni bomo dey be enyai na just say man 10 years mum no fancy kristosom so betumi a you cannot do this we are blasphemy, okay? But then Avram Moshe train say oh play smart and all that one can be man on Avram will be abeta when you're student abeta what here now so trouble so one can be man of cry. But then Avram Moshe e be wie no na o keka say Bible no enye kwa asepoto na tro bebre ene wom errors bebre ne wom contradictions bebre na ere be na ewo eye Bible ne mu what's American church say Bible no a ekura ye no it came from divine knowledge, okay? Eye onyankopon a wo ye unlimited ono na ode book na de be amayen through holy men sana asamnetie it no say unlimited being provide eye information we a limited being okay? You may see stuff within that information say eye contradictory all because say we were limited thinking, okay? We will name dear no, and I say, unyansa no, endru ne dear. So I'm finding those difficult, the often say contradictions, the friends say difficulties in the Bible. You may come across that difficulties. And on a boy, to make say, now we have difficult studies. A boy out say, now we have difficult searches. To me, at the wide an idea by a boy, now to me, a but if it does not do na peso be how na wo sua de yi, okay? That is what a year septics a year CS4 bebre a doma hold kofo a we dey change and this is what they are doing. Sometimes social arguments be a from Moshe be ye ne nkofo ye hu da money ade be ye ne ade no you get to know say senka ebi o seda edu no kwa kire enkonye da argument no. Isaiah 53, how have you studied Isaiah 53, Mr. Avram Moshe? Say na wasi Esnya Isaiah 53. Okay, yanko Isaiah 53. Isaiah has been deemed or has been termed as the Messianic prophet. Bible student behind himself or friend Isaiah say or the Messianic prophet, all because say so Old Testament prophets Noah Isaiah pa no obia or ka and sembebre and also say kom bebre edifa eye Messiah no eho eye Yesu Kristo. Okay, or no pa na Nyankopon nam ne so e kan sembebre edifa Yesu Kristo ho. Now Isaiah 53 talks about the suffering servant. It talks of the suffering servant. Onyankopon akoa no a ohunu amane no. Anase akoa no a ohunu amane no somfo no a ohunu amane no. Ono ho asem na Isaiah 53 dey be eka the suffering servant. Now this commentary it is from a rabbi, okay, and as a Jew. Na ono na or penta presentment Emma a Christopher, okay, na a idea Tony Boase na fe obebesua de no hunu say indeed say de na original say na enya kore na ebe obehunu we no ana che say we na je say oh yes several searches na bo ni nuanom Jew for ne bo mo say Yesu Kristo nya na ho asem ana Isaiah 53 can so no said the be na mbetuma de be sua de Daniel man e ho asem e na make the book no title was say Rabbis, Skeptics and the Suffering Messiah by Daniel man. Okay, now so share Isaiah 53 verse number 1 ansana make Isaiah 53 verse number 1 through 3 no Daniel man equity some Jewish rabbis one na chase watch say indeed Isaiah 53 has a reference to the Messiah. Okay, asemwa Daniel man okay you know say as I studied the Bible I began to see how Jesus could have fulfilled many of the prophecies in the Hebrew scriptures. I say bra what say Ocean Bible no uno say ampa Yesu Kristo ono nkuana efa enkom sha wodo e course so apam na da anim no Jewish prophets no chese one essay no ono nkuana obi a chese otumi fulfill these prophecies. If you say I also discovered that the New Testament wasn't something arbitrarily tacked onto the Bible, a Hebrew Bible, by people who hated Jews. Was it what I said? Who said there be New Testament? No, apart from no, say and said Avram and Moshe book no, and said the uncle for skeptics. Okay, can say and crofobin said that we are when be Jewish Bible. Ni mudabi anya sakra and a divine book. If you also say, I was shocked to learn that Jews had written it and that Jesus himself was a Jew. Or say, Osia de na research no obate shock say okay. Say Bible no through New Testament no. Say nyamrofo bi ana twere you. Enya Portuguese bi ana twere Europeans bi ana twere Romans bi na twere e de ba behemu say Jew for ana twere ye. What I say all the 40 men out of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, you know, they were all Jews. Okay? They were all Jews. Now a Jew for okay? Now a Jew for most, especially the writers of the New Testament, you know, they were Jews. Wanna be Christians. None of them were from Europe. None of them were Europeans. What I say now who be anywhere Europe ni okay, ebio sametwaswa. Daniel man it also say one of the most convincing passages showing that the Messiah would make the ultimate sacrifice and die for our sins was Isaiah 53. Daniel man we Jew ni no abre sesia no one wababe say indeed Yesu Kristo or real Christianity is real na dia Isaiah 53 Ekasafa Jesus Christ one as a Jewish prophet no or making several prophecies about Jesus Christ no Daniel man asema all can say social Bible no Jewish scripture no emua Old Testament no more one of the convincing passages actually I would do a woman in bia just etumi a show nkura na convince so Emma will say indeed Yesu Kristo ono pe and no be make that ultimate sacrifice Odemba for their mewiase nyina twinipa nyina benyankopon ehu ebio no Isaiah 53. Now otoza was say present day rabbis disagree. Rabbis bimo eho eneya. One disagree says sasemi no enya no kore. Obo rabbi wedding Rabbi Rashi. Otra say 1040 between 1040 and 1105 AD. Okay, or say Rabbi Rashi might have been the first to deny that this incredible passage is messianic. Or say Rabbi Rashi or no any rabbi or no otanasia. Chasa odi kan eka say Isaiah 53 and kasa emfa messiah no ho. Inti Avram and Moshe eka kan no enye genuine. Everybody can make it this argument, but then I understand it and to me and look at how Avram and Moshe is going to be disproven. Okay, look at how these people are going to be disproven. Yeguzu siade. Ebi otozo say, but many Jewish sages, the sages are Jewish sages no na one ene rabbis no anasan krofo na wonim die mu do ana Jewfo no ko wonchen wona ko gurus o ko wonchen e ko penim die okay na one say what is it? We sages. Now it's sagacious, just a nimdiade. Now just a one nebu on so pay ye. Was it but many Jewish sages before and after Rashi saw the Messiah in Isaiah 53. Or say Rashi say Isaiah 53. And Kasafa Messiah no home. But Jew for the Jewish sages, gurus, akasia, na owo a Jew for the mo. A binom tena se kwa se na Rashi eba, and a Rashi echino one esua de unse there be Isaiah 53 Messianic. Messiah no one sem and where they be. And oka. Okay, ebio my way. The highly regarded first century Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai stated, or say, first century Rabbi be an often say, Shimon ben Yochai, as some Yochai in now highly regarded among the Jews. So a great sage, a great rabbi, as I say to me, in your Hebrew scriptures in the Munchri Moa, Kessan in China, where they be, and where they be okro. As someone a year Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, okay, and you say, the meaning of the words bruised for our iniquities. Say, I am born into and I say, no, okay, he was bruised for our iniquities. Or say, we say, no, Nenchas here in the Isaiah 3 verse 5 or no, Nenchas here and say, that since the Messiah bears our iniquities, which produce the effect of his being bruised. Or say, Messiah no, yem bonne no, or swaye, and no, and a man no koba say, it has say, or bruno, a bruno anke bagia, so chenanke bagia no, punishment ranke badaya so no, Messiah no so, and a crocodile, Senator or say, it follows that whoso will not admit that the Messiah that suffers for our iniquities must endure and suffer them for them himself. Enti say obi bia no a on peneso na onyin tum say Messiah na so a sa boni e de ema ye no koja na kwan e wa se nia ne so no say ni pan na ka say e ka say no an say punishment na de be e de ma na ho it whosoever denies the Messiah, obi biara deny Jesus Christ no. Say nipa no bi say Avram be Moshe, ene Yehuda kentan na asefo ni nyina no, mu nyina no wan kasa obegye wa punishment no ama ho. Say na asem tie, okay, ebio say beto so a. Osaso Daniel man ekoti Rabbi Moshe Al-Shik. Rabbi Moshe Al-Shik, ononso na smo kai ni na ye famous 16th century scholar. Also, say, our rabbis with one voice accept and affirm the opinion that the prophet Isaiah 53 is speaking of King Messiah. What say? Rabbi Moshe Al-Shik, say, yen rabbis no, okay, yen atechre for no Jew for, yatechre for, a rabbis yen na de anokro. Eka na editum se eye adimu a ese Isaiah 53 no ekasa efa Messiah na ho no enokore asema Rabbi Moshe Al-Shik okai eno no so Abraham Moshe na sefo beka se Jew for kran po se Yesu nya Messiah mo tia na we rabbis ene eka on wasem no okay ebio se metwa so a na Jew for reject Yesu Peter no edi eni no eji ni mebo a asuafo ni nyina no me Jew for. So look at the Jew for Crampan years and tomorrow who were like the apostles. Were there no Jews? No, one a Jew for Ababe Christ for. In contrast, today's rabbis have rallied around the assertion that the suffering servant of Isaiah 3 is the nation of Israel and not the Messiah. Let's take a look. After Asema Daniel man can say, Jew for ni be ene ebesine. And through Avram Moshe say, was ya do Jew for near the onoso akabi. Say yes to Christo. And ya no wasem and Isaiah 53 bay. E can name mono a Israel for wasem and a walker. Entino yan she say, Asami a yampa. Anasa nyampa, a bit me for Israel for. Anasa end to me emfa Israel for na yan sha the Crontia end to me mase. Israel wasem and Isaiah 53 bay eka. Yajade eti we HS Avram Moshe ediagu enye Israel wasem eye Messiah no wasem one fulfill Isaiah 53. Okay, 53 verse 1 through 3. Tie. Who has believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? When what say, when what G and Kai Bono Edie, when what G Rasamedie, Neradi Abazakasiano, one so and Adedie. He grew up before him like a tender shoot, Ofina Nemusa Dufro, and like a root out of dry ground. To say, a yinia, a free as a pesemu. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us as to him. Now we need a year and one fair. Now we need mudi be a ma yen ho see about accepting. Nothing in his appearance that we should desire him be anywhere. A day di one who a bit me amaye penasem. He was despised and rejected by mankind. Na enipa bunu enimtia. Okay, nanipa epono, a man of suffering, oberema na just ohuno amanie, and familiar with pain, ohuno yao, like one from whom people hide their faces. He was despised, but not to say obia and for a you and any ehuntanwo na ayadia, chese wakika and some fool at efana home, and we held him in low esteem. Na ye mono. Afe analyze this Bible passage. Isaiah 53, verse 1 through 3. Ena, making kaya no. After that, social throughout Isaiah 53. Isaiah 53, verse 1. Ediko kwasi 12 ninyo na anwa. The masculine singular pronoun he is used to designate the suffering servant. So, whole of Isaiah 53, I want to say, masculine gender pronoun. Or masculine singular pronoun he. Sa edin si anamu he no. Aya de kasa efa berema hono. Eno ana Isaiah onyankopon na ne so ede ekasa fa suffering servant no eho. Avram and Moshe say eye Israel no. Now the idea. This pronoun he no. It is very rarely used in regards to Israel. That pronoun no, who Bible from Genesis up to Revelation. I will see be say onyankopon ede kasa fa Israel for ho. Israel for onyankopon putu he and farmer one. Israel or man Israel no ojina say oba. Onyankopon Bible no so kasa fa Israel one say hey. On using he that masculine singular pronoun no and a masculine gender singular pronoun no onyankopon fan kasa fa Israel wonder Avram and Moshe, but wutie, okay. Onyankopon fan kasanfa Israel honda. Therefore, sasemi no to me enye Israel ho asem. Bible no kasa yankomsa efa Messiah no ho, efa Jesus Christ no ho. Sana asanate unhia bi ewo Bible no ba bia odi he that masculine gender pronoun no kasa efa Israel ho. More usually and more commonly no usia Bible no a you get to know, say, Israel is referred to as you. Onyankopon ekasa Israel say you, wo, and I say mo, also you. She, and I say her, and them Israel. And ebia they, and them. And I rekasa ever Israel. Now, rarely will you ever come across God using or putting he for Israel. It is never said anywhere in the Bible. Okay, throughout Isaiah 53, you get to know that the suffering servant is being referenced to as he or as a male. But Israel isn't ever referenced to as he, but rather they, you, she, her, and all that. It's as we say, no, Avram and Moshe diagu, and no krese, Israel wansem, and a Bible neck and no, Yesu Christo wansem. Okay. Unsia baby bia say what is it what they he ekasa efa Israel ho but o de so was listen Isaiah 53 say suffering servant no that masculine gender singular pronoun no and o de kasa efa suffering servant no therefore to me enye Israel ekofa Israel ho a yebedi agu efa Messiah no ho a there is no problem with that. Because he came as a male. Nyankopon Israel. Ebio Isaiah 53 verse 4 through 6. Isaiah 53 verse 4 through 6. And to say, surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering. No kwasem na say ofa yen yaw na yenamane hunu no ono ana osoaye, yet we considered him punished by God. And so ye hunu say obi a onyankopon ade be atwena so, stricken by him and afflicted. Obi onyankopon abona ade be ahweho na omana adiyaw, but he was pierced for our transgressions. Eyem boninti ena wode pia ewo no. He was crushed for all iniquities. Yen boninti ena ade be ena chese obrena sesa anasa woyen sa. The punishment that brought us peace was on him. Azotwea ade asumdue ebre yen no na chese ono no so ena kokodaye, and by his wounds we are healed. Nakuro anasa ne man nakuro ni pra na opra yen mo no ena yene yenya de be ayaresa. We all like sheep yenyina se enyan have gone astray, yamane. Each of us has turned to our own way, yenyina dandane akoya so, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. Erade yenyina bone akohwe so afei Avram and Moshe Mr. Yahuda Kentana CSF4 Muntes Asemiye. We are on the way, on the road of disproving Avram and Moshe. Sasemi anyano kure se Isaiah 53 no en kasan fameze no tie verse 4 no erikokosi 6 no afi nchiremu no. Just a quick read through the prophets will show that Israel could not even bear its own sins. Say suffering servant no eswa yeniam bone. Say the Isaiah 53 verse 4 through 6 nekano. Israel so sia Bible from Genesis to Revelation. You get to know say one bone impono ntimi so na koso obi de. What does it pa? And say a bearer of sins cannot bear the sins of others. Israel for one ankasa one bone impono na wontumi ade bai na wontumi so na nkampeso kwa so obi de. It's Avram and Moshe kase Isaiah 53 kase for Israel for wonim de oka. Ora se Avram and Moshe o kase Isaiah 53 kase mfa Messiah na ho na kase for Israel ho wonim de oka, because Israel it is very rare so be can say what is it, one eswa yen bone others abone ho abone na Israel so aye ono na de akrampo no na wotumi nsoa. Okay, ebio se no to so a Jewfo no one abone chese wo nyina wo mu no one Israel fo bone o mu ena da sanyina bone na wotimu nti ana Yesu Kristo obaaye obeso da sanyina bone no kugya no kwan wa asem ya ne so ana ogbo kwan atowa menu mi enu betumi afa so ne aduru Onyankopon enchen. So you follow the precepts sana asem ne tie na oba beye eye Kristo ni sana asem ne tie. So wo share this Jewish scholar, according to the revered 12th century Jewish scholar Ramban Nachmanides, asema okaye ni also the Redeemer is the Messiah. Ne comment ni on Isaiah 53. Also, yet he carried our sicknesses, being himself sick and distressed for the transgressions which should have caused sickness and distress in us. Or chese Yesu Kristo yene bone yene yarewa no ene kokoshe ne so enyarewa ne kase enka etumi edade we yemo no ono no so ene kokoshe ye, and bearing the pains which we ought to have experienced enti ayawa na ekase koso wo yene nipadua mu no ekoso ewo Yesu Kristo nipadua mu mom. But we, when we saw him weakened and prostrate, eba ye hu no say ase wa benasie wa yemre na chese ase ya benasie no, thought that he was stricken, ya jene say ase obi oburu no smitten of God Nyankopon and idebe and abanashiwo. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, for God will correct him, and by his stripes we were healed. They all can say or the enchine and etum what was and empara Yesu Kristo ne wasem and Isaiah 53 where they be oka we are renowned Jewish rabbis. Okay, one enemy day Now when him Jew for angumanimono, one and a workers as me. So it is very weird, complicated. Say, what can say? Sa me no what is it? What Israel wants them and I to 3 eka. Around the Moshe, Okasa, Unsia Bible ni. Ebio Radia. Well, today's rabbis deny substitutionary atonement. Said the and the rabbis need be a deny say, Obibe to me a general ed ama obino. One man dying for the sins of the world than a man echo. This had not previously been the case. The mystical Zohar records, I think, say, because I'm making Zohar records near the a better pass, so I'm for reading to us on our infant them. Isaiah 53, verse 7, so Yashaya Isaiah chapter 53, verse 1 through 3, and Yashaya Isaiah 53, verse 4 through 6. Right now, Isaiah 53, verse 7, you want to say it is impossible, say Isaiah 53, kasa efa Israel for home. But then, say efa Messiah no one, there is no problem. Therefore, Rabbis and Messianic, what they are in your question, Isaiah 53, verse 7, I say, he was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. Ayadea or how no na ofa yelmu nanso when mina no empo ankasa. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter. Odinanim adene koye to say odanya odano akọ ni nyitwa for de be anim, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent. Said ye odan etomum e ni nyitwa for anim no sa na Yesu Kristo wo ye our sana this servant no ye. So he did not open his mouth. Majlis we man chiremu krampa but yes Israel. Say Israel efa ahochiremu of ayawmu na we me na no ankasa. Na woni aye Mose krampo nam kwawe no so de si ye. Woni Mose kran nam wa de ne so de si ye. Ko bi mamone a wo pa wi enti no esu osu nya asam ke si krampo ye bia no no. Esu ana osu na nya asam ketwa. Can you say this about Israel? You cannot say this about Israel. We cannot find any biblical references to affirm that Israel was silent in the face of oppression. Oppression being about Israel, so Israel can't want to tomb. So we are silent. Debbie. And I'm born in Yom Babylon, a subontene hope. I better yet one night in is you know. Zion Buffo won't no catch and say, Motozayo, when you being tray and yang. He ever was a one say. A better night to Zion, when you move, many a sikafra. So no, Israel for they were never silent in the face or in the sight of a oppression. So as me and Yanokre, Avram Moshe, we and Israel once and a Bible no eka. Okay, into no, Amen Samson for Isaiah 53, verse 8 and 9. On said bay and 12 way. Isaiah 53, verse 8 and 9 and 12. So by oppression and judgment he was taken away. Just a otainani or how no tete no. Na odeni kodina atemwo anim na odena de be echo yet who of his generation protested na so one and na e na abreso a one protested ye say bia ommoa e ma de na ekoso na de be enkoso. So I think say you want to say sasemi no, you cannot say it about Israel, for he was cut off from the land of the living. For the transgression of my people he was punished. He was assigned the grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, though he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. You can never say this about Israel. Say Israel, not violence be in Israel. Utumika sa same way empire Israel ho. Say Israel, just say man adamwa not just say aye adabonefo mienu entem ne ade. You can only say this about the Messiah. Untumi enkasa asemi empamfa Israel ho ema no enye ye. Jesus Christ was deprived of justice. You know say no kwadie ankoso e wona fam in regards to aye atemu. Okay, mamemfa last portion no answer so e na fi ye fancy. Isaiah 53 verse 10 and 11. Isaiah 53 verse 10 and 11. Yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer. Ane ensuomu nyina mu no na Awurade Nyankopon ne pe se wo hwe Acts chapter 2 verse number 22 no de kro no a Bible no kire say Yesu Kristo ni wo no obewu ye no, it was based on the foreknowledge of God. Sana asemnete Isaiah 53 say 53 verse 10 and 11 say, yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer. And though the Lord makes his life an offering for sin, na erade pese o man e de be efasa amane ni mu na ohunu amane na se de be na onam eye ni wuo ne so na ye ne ye betum enya bone fafri ni wuo ne be ya for the bo e de ma ye bone. He will see his offspring and prolong his days. Obehunu eye wana ofri de oye no mu de beba, talking about Christians. Na ayade a nna ebe de be ebewa, and the will of the Lord will prosper in his hand. Na onyankopon apede ebekoso ewe de be ewe nsem. After he has suffered, he will see the light of the life and be satisfied. So huna manye wiya enwechi, talking about his resurrection from the dead or from the grave. By his knowledge my righteous servant will justify many. Na nim die mu no ayadia aye makoa tenene ni mesomfo tenene ni no chese obema bebre no a de be etuma nyankwa ede ama wo ho, talking about Jesus Christo eye de odesi wo ede ma adasano Christianity. And he will bear their iniquities. No baswa won bone. Okay, comment na fe mfensie. There is no reason to suppose that Israel's death could represent an offering for sin. We sebi nyansanim se obi abeka sa asem no. Se obagine se Israel ni wo a cheze na obewuo no eno no na ebegina ho ama adasa bone ho afodebo. It is never said anywhere in the Bible. In the Avram and Moshe, that's what we see in the Bible ni. Sin offerings had to be without any blemish. Aye bone ho for the bono na it say die e de ne bono eni kwan say blemish. And I say afodie bia de be e wone ho Israel untumi kasa na afodie bia ne ho. They do not abo afodie amabone. Sasemi etumi fa Israel man ye. But we were covered with them. How could the knowledge of Israel justify many? Better than Israel named here, to me, I justify so many people. Well, you know, it is never said of Israel anywhere in the Bible. But faith, that is knowledge, is the Messiah will. And to the Makasa Metraswa, Makasa Bibri, but then the American Yana say, Fatagi Avram ben Moshe, Fatagi CSF, Fatagi Yahuda Quintana, Fatagi Ubibiara Noa, Usu say, as I was no. Anyam komsha efa eye Messiah no ho, because Avram ben Moshe akasa aseminti we nya no kore de asia kire o say we move from Isaiah 53 verse 1 through ayat 12 ni nyina no entumi nya asemo a efa Israel ho e mane ye. It doesn't correspond to reality. The real Israelites about when come asem no we no efa wo ho na emo no skeptics so ho kire wona na to ayampia. Avram ben Moshe, you are disproving sa asemenya no kore se wo senya no kore so na besan so abanta fabra, and we will respond to any argument out there our platform. So in regards to the Bible, the epic of Gilgamesh, and one 7 Rabbis Moshe or Kayano Eso. Yana, what say Eddie Maye, and not liking so Yakupon Israel. Bye bye.